you can find a doctor who knows nutrition, knows, what a healthy human body is supposed to look like and function like, and actually wants to help you improve. It's not going to benefit them financially to do this kind of thing, but there are doctors who will help.
And the biggest part of finding that one doctor is like, once you got him, hold on to him like he's gold,
Right.
or her, or whatever they identify as. But the biggest part is that if you do find a good physician and you do find somebody that wants to see you do well and be able to help you, then you need to start running not only your own ideas past them, but like ask questions, dig deep, what can I do to get myself in better shape? What can I do to eat better? What do I need to be intaking daily on water? They may not have those answers right away for you, but you can easily look these things up yourself as well.
Right.
There's a BMI for a reason, which exists because you need to know your water intake daily, your daily nutritional intake, what your body fat percentage is. There's a lot of layers to it.
Right.
But when it comes down to it, you just want to be able to really attack this thing from the baseline. Mm-hmm. And the first part of that is admitting you may have an issue, accepting that, going for the gold with it and saying, you know what, now I need to seek the help. Right. And if you can do that, you can find the routes, like they told you, like you were going to have a double knee replacement.
Right.
We just did legs today. And that's the other thing. It's like we did legs, and, for a guy that supposedly needed a double knee replacement, he was pushing weight. And the other part of that is that, I was drastically injured in my legs as well. I have multiple surgeries on my right leg, my shin, my femur, even my glutes. And they told me that I would never squat. What's the first thing I do every day?
Squat.
That's the thing, is if you're willing to take the time to really figure out your issues, then I guarantee there's going to be either a semi-solution or a permanent solution that exists for you.
Yeah. And the human body is designed to recover, right? Like you can't go work out and then recover if your body's not got the ability to do that. So you innately have this ability to recover physically as a human being. And so when you go to a doctor and he's like, oh no, you have to have this surgery, you have to have this medication the rest of your life, stuff like that. That's probably not the final answer. There's probably a way to literally heal yourself and bypass all of that additional trauma that you would go through with surgery or to your metabolic system with medication, whatever it might be. And it's important for guys to find a way to actually heal themselves instead of becoming dependent on this monopolized pharmaceutical industry that we have. Because so much of it is about creating clients and keeping them on the payroll. Whereas with the right training routine, the right diet, the right supplements, that kind of thing, you can actually heal yourself and become better than you were prior to the injury.
When it comes down to the pharmaceuticals, they don't make money unless they keep you sick.
Right.
Like, why would I want to tell you that there's alternatives to the pain that you're having when I can just prescribe you Percocet and charge you $500 a month for it?
Right.
There's a big disconnect between not only pharmaceuticals, but our doctors, because on this end, they are getting paybacks,
right?
Like from these companies, and they don't want to give you the true route that's there. Well, I am living proof that whole system is monopolized. Mm-hmm. They tried pressing painkillers, sleep aids. Mm-hmm. I think it was Ambien. Mm-hmm. XR is what they were. CR, and I mean, it made me sleepwalk. I woke up in a Walmart 4 blocks away from my house and surrounded by cops. Like, what's going on, guys? And the funniest part about that is they were good to me, but even within that day, one of those police officers reached out to me and he goes, "You don't need to be taking that stuff." Uh-huh. And that was actually when I started realizing, well, hey, maybe I just have imbalances. And really I did. I had a magnesium imbalance that was so upside down. If I would have been supplementing it the whole time, I would have been able to fall asleep normally.
Right.
And of course I had brain injuries. I had the PTSD thing going on, but there's therapy for that. Mm-hmm. You don't need these medications to be the absolute rule of your life. At times they will prescribe something to you and just wait for side effect. Right. Just to see if it works for you. That doesn't sound like a fun time to me.
Right.
And then the other part of that is that how dangerous is that, especially with people who have been to combat?
Mhm.
You know, like these guys are coming home, they're already depressed, they're in a bad spot. Now let's just throw antipsychotics at them. That's insanity.
Yeah, I got a buddy who, after our deployment, he was dating a hairdresser, and she had a mannequin in the bedroom. And like a lot of guys, right after combat, you sleep with an AR under your pillow. And something happened in the house, made a bumping noise in the middle of the night, and he sat up and double tapped that mannequin right in the forehead. It's like, well, yeah, he's on all this medication. He's not cognitively present enough to analyze the situation before pulling the trigger, right?
Exactly.
And that's a problem a lot of vets have, is the same kind of thing, and it doesn't get talked about. And that's one of the points of us doing this video. And if you guys appreciate this content, let us know, and we'll start doing this maybe on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
But we would like to help more vets actually recover instead of being products of the system and going down the hole we've seen so many friends lose themselves into.
Yeah. The biggest thing that, like we were saying earlier, is that they don't tell you about the breakdown of your body as you go through these stressful moments. You know, they just try to throw a medication at it. Well, there's so many things that can happen from combat stress, not only military stress, being an NCO, being a leader, like you are constantly under scrutiny, and that can do something to somebody's brain to a point where they're not only losing themselves, but they're losing touch with reality.
Right.